What is up guys, it's your boy Solam here, back with another classic WoW Season of Discovery video for you. Now today we're talking about gold farming and gold making, and I'll be showing you a very interesting and kind of obscure way to farm some gold in Season of Discovery. Now I'm trying my best to keep my gold farming videos as diverse as possible, so some of them do require, for example, the raids from BFD, some of them have to have with herbalism and mining, some of them you have to be a certain class for, and some of them have no requirements whatsoever. For example, the Dark Iron Ordnance farm you can do in wetlands in a raid, and you don't have to be a certain class, you can even do it like lower levels too, or you can have mining, go in a certain cave and use that one, that's also great as well. Or you can go and do, like, there's so many different things you can do, right, when it comes to gold farming, and I'm trying to cover as much as I can. Now once again, today's gold farm will be kind of weird, and that might be why it's so valuable. I'm trying to upload as much as I can as early access to anyone who has my gold guide as well, so if you haven't checked that one out yet, just a quick sellout for that one. It's a 134 pages long document containing gold farms, 50 gold farms actually, all the way from level 10 to level 60, so you can use these in phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and even phase 4, and we'll also talk more about how to make gold with professions, and I'm making investments videos, which you will get early access to, basically how to farm gold, and now how to spend that gold to make more gold as well, and showing you what I'm personally investing into. Plus you get early access to videos like this one, and we have a couple more videos that have been and are currently in early access as well. Either way, if you want to check it out, the link is down below. It's a great way to make yourself some more gold and support me more at the same time, so if you want to do that, well, once again, the link is down below. Either way, let's talk about the farm for today. The item we are looking for is something called Humbert's Helm, and it's technically only available on the Horde side. But we had a couple on the Alliance side today, and they were listed for between 60 and 80 gold. These are a 7 agility and 8 stamina helm. If I'm using TSM here, you can see it's been scanned the last hour. Minimum buyout for me is 60 gold, the market value is 88 gold, and the region market value average is 56 gold on a green helm. The reason for this is, once again, it's a helm. There's not really that many helms out there. There's a couple of them, but not too many of them, and this one is really good. 7 agility and 8 stamina. It's one of the best helms you can get on a brand new level 25, and there's only really 2 items from the raid you can get that are better, and they are heavily contested. For example, the first head, Artemis Cowl, this one, 7 agility and 6 stamina, plus 24 attack power, and then you obviously have the tier sets as well, but they will be heavily contested once again, and the raid items. The Humbert's Helm is probably the pre-bis you can have, or one of your pre-bis items, and it's selling for 60 gold. So, how can you farm this item? Well, Humbert's Helm is kind of interesting in the way that it's a green item, in which case most items are random. This one you can technically, not even just technically, you can literally specifically farm for by killing a certain mob. Now the mob you have to kill is only available to the Horde side, and that is where the Horde faction comes into play. So you want to go for the Humbert's Helm right here, which is dropped by a very specific mob. It's called the Dun Garruk Rifleman. He spawns, or well, they spawn in Hillsbrad Foothills. They're level 29 to level 30, and they are elite. They will be friendly to Alliance, but they will be not friendly to Horde, and they have 3,800 health. So ideally you want to have a group for this, so be a character that can solo these, like for example a Feral Druid, Hunter. There's probably a lot of classes that can solo. Just think about the health here, they're elite and they're kind of high level, so make sure you're able to solo elite and you should be fine. Now these guys have a pretty interesting loot table. If I just scroll down, you can for example see Humbert's Sword and Humbert's Helm. Humbert's Sword is basically, it's a quest item with 7% drop chance. Humbert's Helm though, 4% drop chance. And you can farm for these as much as you want. So really good item, once again, selling for 60 gold, and it has a 4% drop chance. The only drawback is you have to kill an elite with almost 4,000 health, and you have to be Horde to kill these guys. Now, how are these on Alliance? Well, this is where it gets even more interesting and even more complicated. You have the neutral auction house in the Barrens, actually not the Barrens, in Booty Bay, right? You have to go to Stranglethorn Vale. So you have the neutral auction house in Stranglethorn Vale. So this farm kind of has 2 layers to it. Layer number 1 is if you're playing Horde and you don't have any friends on the Alliance side, or you're just playing Horde, right? And this Helm might be cheap for you on your auction house because you're playing Horde. All Horde can kill this mob. As Alliance, we can't kill this mob. Try selling it on the neutral auction house. You might make way more gold than you do on the Horde side, just by selling it to the Alliance. And if you're Alliance, layer number one here for Alliance is if you have a Horde friend, try to make a deal. Make a deal where he farms and you somehow split the gold, even though that's going to be very difficult because you're once again on different factions, but try to make a deal. I don't know how you would, but try to make a deal. Or, number 2, have a character parked in Booty Bay, try to grab a Helm cheap on the auction house, if it ever shows up, and sell it for more on the regular auction house. Because once again, if you're playing Horde, you really should consider putting these on the neutral auction house, because they will sell for more. Because as Alliance, we simply don't have access to this Helm without you guys giving it to us on the neutral auction house. And if you're playing Alliance, this could be a very, very simple flip for you. You could, for example, buy it for 40 gold on the neutral auction house and sell it for 60 or 70 gold in Stormwind, or like the regular auction house, and basically almost double your gold just by doing that. So it's a really good flipping opportunity, really good farming opportunity. Once again, the only bad thing is if you're playing Alliance and you want to have the head, you can't farm for it yourself. If you do, you have to have 2 accounts, one of them being Alliance, one of them being Horde. If you do, that's great. That gives you a really solid farm. And like I was trying to say, it is a very obscure farm, and that is why even me making this video, it will still hold its value, at least I think. That being said, it's a very, very phase 1 specific farm. And on top of that, it is very, very specific towards the early stage of phase 1. So maybe this week and next week, after Christmas and stuff like that, the price will probably go down as more and more people have access to the raid, they are doing the raid more often, and people don't really care that much about pre-biz. Pre-biz is really hot right now, the items are selling for a lot of gold, but they will probably go down eventually, especially when phase 2 gets announced, because in phase 2, people don't want to spend 60 gold on a level 25 green item, when they can get access to better greens at level 30 plus. But until then, the next couple of weeks, farms like this can be absolutely insane, and you can actually farm for a certain pre-biz without doing something like the Hunter RFK farm for the Mantle of Thieves. This one can be just as good. You can actually specifically farm for this one with a 4% drop chance, and is currently selling for 60 gold. So once again, just a quick recap of what we've gone through so far. You have the Humbert's Helm selling for 60 gold. If you're playing Horde, you have access to farm this one from a rare, not a rare, an elite in Hillsford Foothills. And if you are farming for it, you can make way more gold than you are doing right now if you sell it on the neutral auction house instead of the Horde auction house. And if you're playing Alliance, either team up with a Horde player to farm it for you, or simply park a character in Booty Bay and hope for the Helm to show up on the neutral auction house, and then resell it on the Alliance auction house. That's pretty much the entire farm and the gold making method, just a really obscure one with really, really high potential and a very high price as well. Now that all the gold farms are going down, I think we have to think outside the box here to keep gold farms relevant, and this is one of those ones that are really outside the box. Either way, hopefully you enjoyed the video today. If you did, leave a like down below. This is going to be video number 2 for today, I think. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the content. Thank you so much for watching as always, I really do appreciate it, and more than anything else, I do hope this helps some of you make some gold. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.